back against the wall. Other does not want to see a game number 5, and of course already just from right off this spawn, of course you have at least a small advantage for the Guerrillas, who just need to make sure they keep the spawn. So Blast up top, no reason for him to ever move. You actually see 3 players from the Guerrillas that did not run towards the hard point just because they didn't want to lose spawns, and Seattle says thank you very much, we will take the hill.
It's pretty white kill feed right there from the Seattle Surge. They'll play everyone out from the LA Guerrillas, playing some hill time here as well, but and Seattle Surge push through and maybe have a little bit of influence on the spawns. We'll keep your eye number 7 on the minimap. That's going to be Apathy. He managed to push through mid-map. Unfortunately, for now at least, for him, LA Guerrillas still with a favorable spawn. Of course, he wants to come far right of the map. Get ready for P2.
Yeah, Route Man gets paid, and right now Apathy trying to earn his paycheck, but of course gets shot in the back because he was trying to catch players on the rotation, putting the pressure on the old hill, and of course looking towards new. Again, you have that small advantage off the rip just because the girls had the better spawns, and it looks like so far so good. They're at least able to potentially win that rotation, unless they start dying.
For Spart, he knew there was a player up top. Aqua now looking to maybe trying to find that trade. Going to be unsuccessful to do so. LA Guerrillas inside the new hill as we go to P2. Faye lead, of course, just a small one, 20 points for Seattle, but they're putting the pressure on, trying to break through. You can see for Seattle Surge, they're wanting to push through Pool Hole, but kill feed purple as LA Guerrillas lock it down.
And this is more of a standard kind of thing you expect to see on a map like St. Petro. It's just going to be that sort of seesaw effect of Team A is going to win the first hill, Team B wins the second, and you go back and forth. And the question is, which team is going to be the first to either get a break or just who is going to be the more annoying team throughout the course of the entire map. So, of course, we saw in the first hill, Seattle, yes, they won the first hill, but they only got about 20 points. Guerrillas dominated them on hill number 2.
Annoying, it's just consistently contesting, trying to bleed as much time off the opposition as you possibly can as we rotate over now towards our 3rd hill on our first rotation. Advantage LA Guerrillas, but the chances point, this is really where you expect to see things swing back in Seattle Surge's favor. As you can see on the minimap, they're ready and waiting in the new hill.
And Apathy and Pen are actually in a fantastic spot right now together as a duo to try to set up for some spawn kills. And you see all the players on Guerrillas having to deal with Apathy, who up top is just letting it ride. And you just see that kill feed. When there's a guy like mid-map, that makes all of your gunfights so much easier. The players in the hill know exactly where they need to look. And you see Karma has one gunfight. He has to win inside the hill. Does it with ease.
Seattle Surge can try and flip the spawns here. They'd be in a great spot. Maybe build themselves a bigger lead. Unfortunately for them, unable to do so. LA Guerrillas inside the hill, so they break it around about 30 seconds. I don't think they're going to be able to hold it really for much longer for them. The rotation now over towards Pool Hole. More than likely should come through. With about 10 seconds left, Seattle Surge should take the lead, only by a couple of seconds. Guerrillas, your turn now to try and turn things around.
And that's a very good example of the hill where I'm talking about just being annoying. Be scrappy. Like, you don't even really want the break on that hill towards the end. You just want to be inside and contest or get as many points as possible. So that's a hill where Seattle gets, what, 40 points to 10 or something close to that compared to the Guerrillas. But they will take it just because they were annoying and win the rotation guaranteed to the new hill.
The problem is LA Guerrillas, they basically dedicate a lot of resources to the wrong side of the map. Seattle Surge, they just push straight through. They easily break inside Pool Hole. Vivid has to go off. He finds one, the nade to defend the front, and LA Guerrillas can breathe a big sigh of relief because that almost got very, very ugly.
And even then, ugly or not, it was just a couple seconds of contest time, but now you actually have the crack from every single doorway. Seattle timing it perfectly. Go back and re-watch it if you want to see the angles they were able to create. The perfect break on the hill, and frankly, the first real break we've seen so far in this game, and that's going to be just enough to basically tie this game up.
For LA Guerrillas, once again, they can try and rotate early towards our final hill of our first rotation. You can see the 3 purple arrows. If number 2 joins them, would be 4. Ready and waiting inside the new hill. It'll pop, and it will be in their favor. One contest comes through. The smoke, that's a stick from Vivid. He'll stay alive. Panda will fall, but the Seattle Surge, they're going to have to funnel through the doorway, and well, Vivid should have been able to find a couple of kills. He eventually falls. Decimate looking to try and trade. Bad game 102-102. And for Decimate, it's play your life. Wait for your teammate support to get there.
That's going to advantage to whoever can get a trophy inside of this hill first. It's just everyone dying to nades and stuns causing confusion. But Seattle, they get the break, and Panda, well, he got the entry kill with the sticky grenade. And Now they're just trying to build up the lead as much as possible in a beautiful kill feed. If you're a Seattle Surge fan, nothing but white, and you can see Octane feasting right now on the opponent. You talk about Karma maybe being an X factor. Sometimes doesn't even matter if Octane starts dropping bombs.
The big problem here for LA Guerrillas is just one on the wrong side of the map. You can see Seattle Surge already waiting inside the new hill. When it pops, the trophies will be thrown out. Yes, Guerrillas have swarm control for P2, but here is where Seattle Surge could maybe build themselves a quite sizable lead and really force LA Guerrillas back against the wall. New hill pops, and Seattle Surge inside.
A nice little top-down view. You saw a player going on the flank, and you was which Seattle Surge player is going to get this kill? And, well, Slack was the man that had the right angle covered. And again, on this P1 hill, the exact same situation we saw the first time around. Yes, the Guerrillas have the spawn, but they don't have the hill control. This time, though, a little bit of a difference maker. Blast inside, has the trophy down, and has a little bit of clearance to, well, get the Guerrillas a good bit of time.
Looking secure the flank. We'll find 1-2 more players from Seattle inside the hill. Vivid makes light work of both of those. LA Guerrillas still, of course, in control of the spawns for P2, but again, they'll be down around about 20-ish points when we rotate through. There's a little bit of lag there. I think that might just be on our end. Hopefully so, but game continues anyway. 153, 130. Advantage Seattle, but a good break here onto P2 chance, and LA Guerrillas are in trouble.
I mean, I was going to say, you talked about it before the map started. Laser focused on Vivid. Vivid has been playing amazing. As soon as we go on board with him, just stops moving. Just everyone in the game is like, no, we're not allowed to watch him at all. But in that little stretch, he did go on a 5 spree. He does have 23 kills. He's trying to keep up with Octane, and then Blast showed up with the 5 in his own, all before Seattle, well, just take control of the hill.
A little too easy, but Smart is there. This is where you got to try and retake control of this map and not allow Seattle Surge to build themselves a rather sizable lead. Decimate again with the contest, but unfortunately his teammate's not there. 25 seconds of time still to be fought for. Vivid trying to go for the contest, but honestly, that might be the final push. Aqua, if he can just contest maybe another 5 or 6 seconds, it could have been worth. Decimate with the late hit. Again, looking for that scrap time. Teammates have, of course, rotated over towards P3. They'll have the spawn there, but now you're looking for them to really be flawless on this hill chance and give themselves a lead for when we rotate to Pool Hall, where inevitably Seattle Surge could actually close out the game.
I mean, still, though, if you're trying to make predictions on this, you're expecting Guerrillas on this hill to effectively tie the game up or keep it close, unless Seattle does something crazy. But then the question is, who can win the rotation? The Guerrillas, they need to have someone sneak through and try to break through the really front line of Seattle Surge. But right now, no one's being the sneaky player. It's just Seattle trying to body their way inside.
Seattle just, again, they'll just keep flying through that door, try and contest as much time as possible. Half of the hill gone. Seattle Surge still with just less than a 20-point lead. Slack looking again to try and push through the front door. The hill consistently contested. Now it's Karma's turn. He'll try and be a nuisance. Gets himself into the bathroom, throws the nade out. This is big time just to contest. Again, this is looking like one of those hard points where every second will count, but keep your eye on the minimap. It's Aqua, number 2. He's already got all the way to the back of Pool Hall. Hasn't even spotted, just barely. Panda sees him at the corner of his eye. That could have been horrible news for Seattle Surge. Instead, though, when the hill finally rotates, you're only looking at around about a 2-3 point lead here for LA Guerrillas. Seattle Surge in a good spot.
Yeah, and Route Man gets paid for good reason. It's a situation of, do you want to take the gunfight or do you want to hide? Aqua didn't know what he wanted to do, try to run away and just get shot in the back in the situation where he just needed to take the gunfight to have any hope at all. But that's why the Route Man earned the big bucks. But either way, now you don't need the Route Man, you need the slaying man for the Guerrillas to break through the hill.
You saw how well Seattle Surge did it in the first rotation. Now, LA Guerrillas, it's your turn. You've got to break in early. And you've got to try and contest. This is a good fight for Vivid. They will find 2. Almost lined up for 3, but in flies Decimate. LA Guerrillas, they're in.
With or without the packets, the Seattle Surge, though, they do not want to see this game number 5. They're trying to get back through on this hill. And, well, a couple players in an interesting spot behind enemy lines, but 15 seconds left. They're going to chalk it up, and that means the Guerrillas have, what, maybe a 10-point lead, if that, going into the new hill, where Seattle, they've beaten them on this hill before.
Basically, it's going to come down to that early trophy you kind of pointed out last time. A nice 5 spree, 6 spree for Blast as he starts to heat up. The hill going to be contested. Black's on a flank, and this is where you just got to be so aware of where you and your teammates are spawning. It's going to get very chaotic very, very quickly as Panda finds himself 2. Seattle Surge inside the hill. LA Guerrillas on the contest, though. Panda pre-firing to the smoke. He'll find 1. The reinforcements on their way from both teams as Seattle Surge once again retake the lead.
Big moments, 35 seconds left. Seattle Surge in a great spot. You just have to look at the kill feed to see it. Apathy, well, he's got the back angle covered. Free kill. He can fly out front. He can't quite find Vivid, but his teammates do the job. The clean 5-man feeds Seattle. 22 seconds left, man. I don't think they can win it here. In fact, they cannot. But either way, they're in a great
Big
spot.
fight is on the rotation. It was actually Spark that just shut down Karma. That inside P1. And you'll need to see Seattle, of course, contest that. They can't just rotate through. As LA Guerrillas can win it here. For Seattle Surge, they just need 8 more points. That is it. 1 clean break, and they will close out this game. They will close out the series. And a pinch is starting to develop. It's going to come down to Spark to maybe try and go big. Hill full. Now it's down to just a couple of teammates. Slack is trying to hit the flank. Vivid right in front of him through the smoke. Octane finds himself 2. Blast will drop. Seattle Surge break through. Decimate falls as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be that. Seattle Surge take game 4, 250 to 223. And more importantly for them, they take the series. They advance through to Sunday, and they get 10 more points against the LA Guerrillas.
I was going to say, and what turns out to be the least surprising series I think we've had maybe all this year at this point. Again, Seattle doing what they do best, farming points off of the Guerrillas. And again, I think Seattle's up to 40 now, somewhere around like the 8th seat. They've jumped up a couple spots. And of course for them, the bigger story at hand is we still don't know how many improvements they've made, especially in Search and Destroy, because all the teams they've been competitive with have been going to the Game 5s. 2 weeks ago, we did not get the best look from them, but great reasons for them to not be in the best of shape. Apathy, again, just literally having a kid like a couple days before, so not easy to get good practice in. Now we get to see Seattle in the future, I guess starting tomorrow. How much improvements have they really made?
You see the emotion there from a couple of the players from the LA Guerrillas, just frustration as well coming through. They're just unable to beat the Seattle Surge. It seems statistically it was a great game from Octane. You just kind of know and expect it doesn't matter if it's Zero Cave or not. 35 and 18. Fantastic stuff from the Seattle Surge, Chance.
And that just falls into the argument of the X Factor. It's not really an X Factor if he does it every single game. It's just an expectation for Octane to play that well. But again, just bump the numbers up a little bit more. 35 and 18, another day. Not even in the office, just at home.
Of course, that's going to set up Seattle Surge versus Atlanta FaZe. I believe that, of course, maybe the first semifinal we see tomorrow. Can Seattle Surge do it? Chance, can they get to a final?
I will